Hey guys, this is Smithy. It's that time of the year. It is time for the last video of the year, and we're going to talk about best in beauty in the high-end category. I've already done a drugstore version of this video, so if you've not checked it out, I'll link it in the iCards above for you guys to check it out. But without further ado, let's dive right into the video and see which are my top favorites of 2021. I'm going to mention this all in the way I apply my makeup. So let's start off with the primers. I have two to talk about. The first one is more on the blurring side. So this is Smashbox Original Photo Finish Smooth and Blur Primer. And I generally go with this primer all throughout my face. Like, I just love the smoothing effect of this primer. I have a lot of texture on my skin, so I absolutely enjoy this primer. It does feel like a silicone primer, so definitely keep that in mind, but it is very helpful in like smoothing out the texture of the skin. The second primer that I have to mention is Tatcha's Silk Canvas Primer. I absolutely love this primer. It definitely has like stayed with me through thick and thin of this makeup journey. I love to apply this in the T-zone mainly. That is where I have like maximum amount of pores, and this diminishes the skin texture, the pore appearance to another level. I love this primer, and the texture is very beautiful. I am a person who looks for like smoothing primers. So these are the two primers that stood out for me. Now let's move on to the foundation. I have one skin tint to recommend and one foundation to recommend. In the skin tint category, the one that stood out the most is Fenty Beauty's Eavesdrop Skin Tint, and this is in the shade 11. This is the one that I'm wearing today, and I absolutely love it. I love how lightweight it is. I love that the bottle is so small. So I love the packaging. Even the amount that comes in it is more than a fluid ounce, which generally is the amount that we get in all the other foundations. And this is 1.08 fluid ounces. I love the way it feels on the skin. Fenty Beauty's complexion products have never worked out for me, and this one just exceeded like beyond my expectations, and that is why I really love this. Now let's talk about a foundation. This is a foundation that I literally look forward to. If I miss this foundation somewhere and I cannot find it, I get hyperactive. Like, I'm like, where is it? I need it. Now, I'm the person who really deals with a lot of discoloration on my face. I have a lot of acne scars on my face, and this just hides everything. And I'm talking about the Nessa Myrex Vision Cream Cover. This has been like my best for 2021, and I am in the shade N06. This has a neutral undertone and it perfectly matches my skin tone. I love this product. The only thing that you need to keep in mind is that you need like the slightest, tiniest little bit to apply this. I go with like, I would say a mustard size drop. Like, do not go with like a pea size amount. That is too much. That is taking to another level. You just need like a drop for all over your face. The way I recommend is like, you need to just like a drop of this, and then I mix it with my skin tint. That gives like such a beautiful coverage. The days when I'm like not wearing anything and I just want to hide the discoloration, I just take this and I spot conceal wherever I need it, and I'm good to go. I absolutely love this. I cannot tell my love for this enough because I love it that much. Okay, let's talk about a concealer. Now, I won't lie, majority of the time I was like using all the drugstore concealers because I tested out a ton. Out of the high-end concealers that I tested out, I would say the one that stood above the rest was the Lancome Tint Idol Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. I have like a sample version of it, and the shade also doesn't match me. I have the shade called 215, but it is a tiny little bit lighter on me. But this is the concealer that I'm wearing underneath my eyes now. But I'm a person who do not like a lot of like light under eye. So I generally do mix this with my foundation that I'm wearing, and then I wear it underneath my eyes. That's how I've been wearing. But it generally smooths out all the lines underneath my eyes, and I've absolutely loved this concealer. I have tried a lot. Nothing has like stood above and beyond this concealer, so I wanted to mention this. Now let's talk about the brow category. The best brow product in the high-end category would go to Benefit Cosmetics, precisely my brow pencil, and I'm in the shade 3.5. Now if you ask me, I would have purchased the shade 4 instead of 3.5 because Right now, I feel like 3.5 is a little lighter on me. By the way, all these products I've applied on my face. I didn't want to get into the demo portion also because otherwise this video is going to be 10 million years long and we don't want that. But everything you can see it on my face, it's beautiful. I love that this is like a pencil tip applicator and it's very fine tip and you can get like very fine strokes of hair like when you apply this. I love it. I cannot recommend this enough. Can you find better drugstore products? Yes, I think you can. But is this a bad product? By no means. Out of the ones that I've tried, I think Benefit Cosmetics like just stands out among the rest. Okay, now time for bronzer. I have a cream product to recommend and a powder product to recommend. In the cream bronzer category, I have to give a shout out to M Cosmetics Multi-Play Stick and I'm in the shade Nomadic. This is such a beautiful formula. It might look like super dark, which it is, but it also blends into the skin like no other. Like, look how dark that is. And it is a very cool tone shade, but it does have like some kind of a red undertone also. But when you blend it in your skin, it just melts like no other. I absolutely love this cream bronzer. I am wearing this underneath the powder bronzer that I'm going to talk about, but it just melts so much. The best thing about M Cosmetics, these cream things are like the formula is so beautiful that you don't need to like sit for hours and blend the product. You just need like 2 or 3 strokes of action and it's all blended for you. Like, I love that. Okay, let's talk about a powder bronzer. Now, the best powder bronzer that I tried in 2021 is from Makeup by Mario and I'm in the shade Medium Dark. This is such a beautiful product. I have loved this so much. Like, this is the bronzer that I'm wearing today. I love that it is more on the neutral side and it just gives a natural tan on my skin. I love that about it, that it is not an orange bronzer. It's not like overly warm. It's not overly cool, but it is like a true neutral bronzer on my skin tone. And I love that. It is so blendable. It's so buildable. I absolutely love Makeup by Mario products. You guys know it. You're gonna see so many products of Makeup by Mario. I cannot even say he has impressed me so much. I cannot. Okay, let's move on to blush. Now, in the blush category, again, I have a cream product and a powder product to recommend. Both of them coming from M Cosmetics. I feel like M Cosmetics have like swept the rest of the brands out of the ballpark because they just exceeded my expectations like no other. They are so blendable. They're so smooth on the skin. Let's talk about the So Soft blush formula. Oh my goodness, this is stunning. I have the shade called Lychee and it looks so pale, but it blends so beautifully and it gives like such a beautiful peach pink on the face and it blends. Oh my god, it is so beautiful. This is like my everyday blush. I cannot. This formula is absolutely lovely. I really want to see so many more shades out of this line. I think she has excelled this formula like no other. I love this cream stick formula from M Cosmetics and I cannot recommend enough things about it. Okay, let's talk about the powder blush and this is the Heaven's Glow blush in the shade Venetian Rose. This is such a beautiful blush. Now, you guys must know that I'm a person who does not wear like sheeny or like shimmery blushes on my face. The only sheeny brush that I wear is this and this comes on the top. Like, I cannot say good things about it. This is the blush that I'm wearing today and it doesn't emphasize my texture or anything, but it still gives like a very natural flush on the face and I love this shade. This completely matches my top and that's how it feels. Like, it's like a little more on the mauvier side and I love it. I love the packaging too. It feels just high end in every category. It comes with a mirror. The product is baked and it sits so nicely. I have a whole dedicated video on M Cosmetics products. Absolutely love it and I love this brand so much. I cannot. I absolutely cannot. Now the next category is powder. I have a loose powder to recommend, and the loose powder that stood among the rest, I would say, is from One Size Beauty. And this is Patrick Starr's brand. And this is their translucent setting powder, translucent loose setting powder. Oh my God, if you need a smoothening powder in a loose powder format, you need to try that. It just exceeds like all the expectations. It just blows it out of the water. The powder is so soft and so nicely milled. I don't know, how can I show it to you? Like, it's so beautifully milled, and it just smooths out the skin like no other. Like, it just feels even like velvety smooth. Can you see the difference? Like, it's so smooth and so beautiful after you apply that powder. It is amazing. I think Patrick Starr did like an amazing job on this, and I had like high hopes going into this brand because I know Patrick Starr is like known for his complexion products, and he has exceeded every hope that I had for that powder. I cannot. Another powder which is in a pressed powder format, which is so beautiful, and I have like used this in and out so much in 2021, and it is a new brand that came in Sephora this year, and it is LYS Beauty, and this is their triple fix translucent setting powder, and this is in the shade Resilience. This is so beautiful. I don't even know if you guys can see the dent or not, but I have a big dent going inside. This is like my everyday powder that I use. I love this. It comes with a mirror, and the packaging is amazing. It feels so luxe, like a hourglass product. And the prices are very affordable as compared to the Sephora prices. I absolutely love LYS Beauty as a brand, and the standout product for me is their setting powder. Now let's talk about highlighter. Do you have any guesses? I think you do. If you have seen any of my videos, you know what I'm going to mention. And it is Makeup by Mario's Soft Glow Highlighter. And this one is in the shade Golden. Oh my, look at the dent. Just look at the dent. I use this so much in my life that I cannot even say. This is the highlighter that I'm wearing. It feels so reflective, but so skin-like at the same time. It doesn't emphasize my texture. That's the best thing about this. And it feels like more like a cream product when you apply it on your face. Oh my God. I could marry this product if this was a person. Like, I love it so very much. If you have still not tried Makeup by Mario's highlighter, I feel like I'm like paid by Makeup by Mario, but I love his products so very much. This has definitely stood out among the rest, I would say, but he has some beautiful products. Like, he really does. Okay, let's talk about a setting spray that came in 2021, and I recently tried, and I would say, you guys know how much I love my all-nighter from Urban Decay, but if I had to choose another setting spray for 2021, I would definitely choose my Benefits Professional Setting Spray. This is so good. Like, even the sprayer, like, look at that. It's so fine. The mist is beautiful, and it definitely does last my makeup for a long time. I've been testing this product for a long time now, and I am impressed. Like, I'm super impressed. I always have loved the Professional line in general. I think has like outperformed the rest. Okay, now let's move on to the lips category. For the lip liner, I have two brands to recommend. The first brand, which I don't think you can find, but I still want to mention it because I use it all the time, and it is from KKW Beauty. These lip liners I have used so much, like so much, and I feel like this is beautiful. I don't know what is she doing with her brand in general. Is she renovating? Is she coming back or not? I have no details, but I would say bring back the lip liners and the lipsticks. I love those so very much, but I think from KKW Beauty, my standout product are her lip liners. Absolutely love it. I have two shades with me. I have Nude 2 and Nude 2.5. I use both of them in and out all the time. Nude 2 is a little more on like the warmer side, and Nude 2.5 is a little more cooler. And this is Nude 2 and this is Nude 2.5. I love it so very much. Like, with all my lipsticks, it just blends so well, and you guys know how much I love my brown lipsticks. Like, it's no surprise at all. I just love it so very much, and the formula is so beautiful. Cannot recommend enough. The second brand that I have to recommend for the lip liner category would be Too Faced, and I'm talking about the Lady Bold lip liners. This totally surprised me. I was not expecting to like this, but I have reached for this so very much. And I have the shade called Fierce Vibes Only. It's in a clickable format, and this is also yet another brown. This is the shade that I'm talking about, and this has a little more red in it, if you can see. Such a beautiful formula. Cannot even recommend enough. Like, I loved this line of lip liners, and definitely my standout shade is Fierce Vibes Only. Okay, let's talk about lipsticks. My favorite lipsticks. Again, I have two brands to recommend. The first brand being Pat McGrath. Now, I own a lot of Pat McGrath lipsticks. Embarrassing, I know, embarrassing. Okay, but I would say all of them different, okay? I have no two shades that looks the same, and I'm very proud of that. Okay, so let's talk about a few shades. My best fall shade, I would say, is Divine Brown, which is like a deep chocolatey brown. Let's swatch a few. Like, that's Divine Brown, and it's more of like a reddish brown shade, I would say. The most deepest out of the lot. Then I have the shade which is called Lavish, and this is like my everyday mauvey, pinky mauvey shade, and that is Lavish. And this is the Luxe Trans formula. Divine Brown is a matte trans formula. Luxe Trans formula is more on like a creamy side, like a more of a satin finish, I would say. Then we have the shade called Elson, which I recently bought. I've not tested this out, but this is again another matte trans formula, and it is a blue toned beautiful red. Like, I know my friend was asking for this shade. Achu, if you're watching this, like, this is how Elson looks. Like, so beautiful. Okay, and the next one is Venus in Furs, and this is like my everyday, like a pinky brown shade, and this is Venus in Furs. But again, this is in matte trans formula. Looks very similar to Lavish, but Lavish is in a cream finish and a little more like darker and mauvey, but this is more like a pinky brown. And then finally, we have the shade called 1995, which is the lightest amongst the all, and this is more of a pinky nude. And this again is a matte trans formula. So that's 1995. So 1995, Venus in Furs, Elson, Lavish, and Divine Brown. Like, I just love her lipsticks to another level. Like, it's just beautiful. Yeah, you know my love for Pat McGrath. Let's not begin. Like, I just love her eye products and lip products to another level. I cannot. The next brand that I have to talk about in the lipstick formula category, which you should not miss on, is another product by Makeup by Mario, and this one is in the shade Fanda. Oh my god, my shade totally. And this is more of like a cool tone mauvey brown. Oh my god, look at that. Looks very similar to Venus in Furs, right? Very similar. Let me see. Yes, extremely similar, I would say. Extremely similar. Like, this is Makeup by Mario and this is Venus in Furs. Beautiful. Superb. Like, superb. Very comparable to Pat McGrath lipsticks. And yeah, if you cannot afford Pat McGrath lipsticks, Makeup by Mario is the way to go. And I feel Makeup by Mario lipsticks has such a beautiful undertone that you can find your perfect shade of nude in his whole line. Am I blushing over Makeup by Mario? Maybe not. I don't know. Let's move on to the lip gloss category. I have two brands again to recommend. One being Tower 28 lip gloss. You guys know my love for it, and I absolutely love this formula. And I have two shades with me. The pink one is called Coconut, and the more neutral brown one is called Cashew. Love both of these, and it looks absolutely lovely. Like, I love the consistency of it, the way it like glosses your lips. Like, it just like unlike other. It's very like a gel consistency, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So let me quickly swatch it for you. So these are the two shades. This is Coconut and this is Cashew. Like, look how beautiful and glossy it is. Yeah, you should just go ahead and get it if you are a gloss person, or even if you are not, which I am not big on glosses, but that is worth trying out. Like, it's just worth trying out. The next brand that I have to recommend, it's another Pat McGrath gloss, and this one is in the shade Wicked Whisper. This is the one that I'm wearing and I love it. Like everything that you want in a gloss is here. It's so lightweight, none of them are sticky. It feels more like a gel consistency, so it just smoothens out your lip lines. And let me swatch it among the rest. The Wicked Whisper shade, it's basically this shade. It's like if coconut and cashew had a baby, that is Wicked Whisper. Like it's a pinky brownie shade. It's so beautiful for everyday life. And oh my God, look at the glossiness of all those glosses. Oh my God, I cannot. I love it. I love it so very much. Okay, now finally, let's move on to the eyes category. Now, for the eye primers, I have to recommend two brands for you again. Have I mentioned anything one? I don't think so. I have to mention two brands for you. The first eye primer that I have to talk about is Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer. If you need like more of like a colored base it just blanks out and evens out your eyelid, I absolutely love this Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer. But if you are looking for an indie brand to test out, I think you cannot go wrong with this primer, and this is from Alamar Cosmetics. This primer, it is so beautiful. This is the primer that I generally use. Like whenever I'm going for an eye primer, this is the primer that I'm using. Like this is the primer that I'm wearing today and I love it. Like it doesn't give like an opaque base, but it is like tacky enough that your eyeshadows look more vibrant and it lasts for the entire day. I love these two so very much and I think you cannot go wrong with either of them. Now let's talk about an eyeliner that has like, again, exceeded my expectations and I've loved it so very much. I think I've used this throughout the year, and this is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now, this eyeliner is so black, it is so matte, and it is a brush tip eyeliner. Brush tip eyeliners are the ones that I absolutely love, and this is no exception. You can go fine, you can go deep, you can just like do anything and everything with it, and that's the eyeliner. Like look how black and how matte it is. Like it's beautiful. Obviously this is like drying, so it's not matte enough right now, but it goes to like perfectly matte. I mean, that's the eyeliner that I'm wearing today. Love it, like love it. Now let's talk about mascaras. The two mascaras that absolutely stood out to me, again, one being a 2020 favorite and another one that's being like a 2021 edition, but I've used it throughout the year. One is Anastasia Beverly Hills mascara. Like I think Anastasia killed it in the eye category. Like I absolutely love this mascara, and the brush tip is more like my L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I think I just love that brush tip. Like the hourglass shape of the bristles, I love it. I absolutely love it. Can you even see? Like it's so beautiful. It just volumizes the eyelashes like no other. It's stunning. Another product that also was like a 2020 favorite and I still love it so very much, and it is from Lancome, and it is their Monsieur Big Mascara. This, oh my God, this is the mascara that I'm wearing today, and even the bristles of this mascara is like extremely similar to the Anastasia one. Oh my God, I just love this brush head. It's everything that you need in a mascara. If you ask me, which do I prefer? I still prefer the Lancome one a tiny little bit more, but both of them are really, really good. Finally, we've come to the eyeshadow category, and you guys know I'm an eyeshadow fanatic. I won't say in which order, but I would say out of the palettes that I tried in 2021, these palettes stood high among the rest in my collection, and I have a ton in my collection. So let's begin. The first eyeshadow palette that I have to talk about is Mercury Retrograde palette from Huda Beauty. Oh my God, I didn't feel that I'm gonna like this, but how much I like it is like would be an understatement. This is the eyeshadow palette that I'm wearing today, like a part of it. Let me tell you what I'm wearing today. I have this and this in my crease, and then I have deepened it, the outer and the inner corner, with the shade this. I have this shimmery pinky shade in my inner corners. I have this purple in my inner and outer third of my eyelid, and I have this diamond dust shade right in the center of my eyelid, and that is my eye look today. I just deepened it a tiny little bit with the next eyeshadow palette that I'm going to talk about, and the one that exceeded my expectations like no other, I would say, is Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette. And this is the Norvina 5 palette. You guys know how much I love my purples, and man oh man, I have loved this so very much. I have this shade in my inner and the outer corners, and then deepened it out with this shade. Oh my god, I just love this so very much. Although I love Anastasia eyeshadows, like I love that formula. Yeah, I don't have the Primrose palette, but I have a ton of Anastasia palettes in my collection, and I have loved each and every one of it so very much. But Norvina 5 just blows the rest out of the water. I love the formula that is in this so very much, and I love that this was on a sale for such a long time. And I know that a lot of you guys had like purchased it out of my recommendation, and I hope that you guys are loving it as much as I am loving it, because I am thoroughly enjoying that eyeshadow palette. And my last eyeshadow palette that was like my standout among 2021 was Pat McGrath's Celestial Odyssey palette. And this is the holiday palette, so it's not like a permanent item in their line, but this is so beautiful, and the variety that she's given in this palette, it's so lovely. I thoroughly enjoy this palette. I have worn this palette so many times. I was like, yeah, I should not wear it today because I have loved this. Actually, I have 5 looks using all these 3 palettes that I talked about today on my channel. I will link everything in the description box below, so definitely do check it out. And if I do not have space in the description box below, just give it a search. You would see all these palettes in action. For if you want like any reference, I loved so many palettes this year, and a ranking video is coming pretty soon. I've not ranked as yet, and I am pretty tensed, I should say that. Now I'm just gonna swatch a few shadows out of each of the palettes that I talked about today. So let's start off with the Pat McGrath shadows. My favorite shadow, I would say this one, the Bronze Nova shade. And then I absolutely love this shade. Of course, I love this pinky shimmery shade. Oh my god, let's watch, so that you guys get an idea of what I'm talking about. And let's also swatch that teal shade. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that. Like Pat McGrath just does it. Like she just does it. She knows her eyeshadows. She knows how to do her stuff. Like I love it so very much. Okay, now let's move on to Norvina 5 palette, and let's swatch a few shades from here. This is such a huge palette. Cannot even. Okay, let's do this. Let's do a few mattes, right? So let's do this. Let's do this white shade that you see, and let's do, I don't know, let's do this. Like all of them are so beautiful that I have a problem like deciding what to do. So that, this, we have this, and then we have this. Like, look at that. Are you kidding me? Like that, this is that white that looks like gold. But all of them are like, it's so lovely. Oh my god, it's stunning. Like the variety is like beautiful, like absolutely beautiful. Okay, time for Huda Beauty. Oh, why did I not take this out? Let's swatch a few shades. Oh my god, you need to see Nebula shade. Covered my fingers, like covered my fingers. Okay, let's start off with Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. I mean, look at those shades and tell me if that's not beautiful, then I don't know what it is. Like those shades from Huda Beauty, it's just stunning. Like look at those eyeshadows. Like Pat McGrath, Anastasia Beverly Hills, and Huda Beauty. Took my breath away for 2021. I must say that. Beautiful, like beautiful. Oh my god, I can like scream from the rooftop how much I love these products, and I have not stopped wearing these products on my face because I love it so very much. And those were like my favorite eyeshadow products. I thoroughly enjoyed the makeup products that came out this year, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video too. Let me know in the comment section below which is your favorite standout product of 2021. And if you did like this video, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!